Another power burst on this BTC hourly chart. You see Bitcoin on this hourly making a move to the upside. I want to cover it. I really want to talk about the monthly chart, the weekly chart, pivot to the daily, and then to the 6 hour. And I want to do it quickly and simply. So please hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and let's jump into this Bitcoin technical analysis. First things first, to lay some context to where my head's at, I tweeted this just a little bit ago. I said, what you're experiencing is the pivot from a bear cycle into the next bull. This is an exciting time to be in crypto. Brace for volatility. I think some people disagree with that. I don't think some people are ready to accept a shift to the bear market. Comment below. Let me know what you think in terms of cycles. Are we getting close? Let's go to the monthly chart. This is what we're looking at. This is a huge move, everybody. We were just in yesterday's video discussing, I believe it was 1 to 2% move from this 50-month moving average. Bitcoin was just trying to approach it, right? And look how quickly Bitcoin above it now, the 50-month moving average. And if we're talking about why that's so important, it's just because, as we mentioned previously, this is the first time Bitcoin has had to contend with not only exiting a bear market and putting in a bottom range, whatever that's going to ultimately look like, but the first time Bitcoin has had to contend with the 50-month moving average to the upside. It's never been an area that's been above Bitcoin for resistance. And Bitcoin right now in the monthly just making moves right above that area. So you can see this is 12 days, 7 hours left for Bitcoin to see if we can get a monthly close above that 50-month moving average. It's right around $23,500 or so. So we're going to keep tracking that. Going over to the weekly, this is it, everybody. This is what Bitcoin reaching critical mass looks like on a weekly chart, especially as we put in this pivot from bear market to bull market. And it's this. Look at this. This 50-week moving average crossing below the 200-week moving average is something we've been talking a lot about. A lot of people are talking about it. And that is to say it's a bearish indicator, right? That's what a lot of people are saying. I've been saying that this is a picture of the worst being over. And what we're going to start seeing is the consolidation of these moving averages. Yeah, the 50 is below the 200, but we want to see the consolidation. They start kind of converging close together, maybe just intertwining a little bit. And we don't know exactly what that story looks like, but the faster that's going to happen relies on Bitcoin making moves like this, touching these areas, even getting above these areas would be absolutely huge. Note, there is resistance at these huge moving averages. There's an emotional aspect, a mental aspect, there's a trading aspect. There's just so many different market aspects to what is happening here. And it's a $25,000 area. And even right now on the Bitcoin hourly chart that we started with, you can just even see at this area, there's a struggle, right? So we need to monitor that, but it gets helpful to monitor on the zoomed in charts, which is what we're about to look at. But this is what the weekly looks like. And we still have 3 days, 7 hours left on this weekly candle. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens in just the days ahead in terms of this exact area that Bitcoin is in right now. Look at this. So while it's hitting this area, we're getting that monthly move above the 50-month moving average. So it's an exciting time in terms of this shift. I want to note something. In this tweet, when I said brace for volatility, for me, and then we're going to dive into this daily chart, for me, what that means is get ready for these awesome bullish moves. Get ready for an exciting day yesterday, maybe today. Huge moves to the upside, 50, 60+% gains across markets, but then all of a sudden, 30% dips. I don't know when it will happen. I just have a feeling, and that's all I can call it, because I can't say that it's definitely going to happen. But this is what we see in crypto all the time. It happens, right? So it's just something I'm always anticipating in the back of my head. But when we get these moves to the upside, I like to really track momentum. So we start zooming in on the charts, and this is what the daily chart looks like. Huge, explosive move. This is what I like to see, everybody. We're talking about this lower high Fibonacci being broken. This is something else we were just tracking. Swing high to swing low. Bitcoin was just testing this lower high Fibonacci area. And look at that daily candle yesterday. Through two key areas. Number one, this 20-day moving average just in yesterday's candle and this lower high Fibonacci resistance. This is exactly just that bull move that we were looking for in yesterday's video. It has happened. You can see this explosive move for Bitcoin on the daily. And there's one thing to note. We start looking at momentum. And this is kind of what I wanted to really focus on a little bit in this video, because we're getting a lot of similarities. And just to give you a picture on the monthly, a lot of similarities in terms of Bitcoin exiting this bear market to the last bear market, 2018. And you can even zoom out and go back to the bear market before that. Similarities there as well. You know, we always talk about these Fibonacci retracements from bear market low to bull market high. It's that yellow line, that yellow retracement line that you see right there, Bitcoin bottoming below. And we're there. We've exited this most previous one, and you can just see, if I chart this correctly, swing low to swing high, Bitcoin retracing to that yellow line, that 786 that you see in exiting. This is all happening, and then when we start dissecting the data, we go to the daily chart. Now, this daily chart is actually Bitcoin making that exit in 2018. This is an RSI, momentum oscillator. So this is kind of what I wanted to dig into in this video, which is to say, right now on the daily chart, this is what the oscillator looks like, meaning we open up price chart so you get a visualization here. Bitcoin exploding out of that yellow 786 line into overbought, consolidating back down, cooling down, and right now making this move to the upside. I bring that up because once again, we go to 2018 into 2019, this is what was happening. It was Bitcoin exiting this 786 line, and you can see the oscillator, this slower moving momentum oscillator, RSI, just overbought, coming back down, cooling off, very similar to what Bitcoin is doing right now, and then making this other leg up. So there's a lot of people, and I'm probably one of them, a lot of people that want to see a similar move, which is just this ridiculous bullish move for Bitcoin coming out of this bear market. I'm not quite convinced we're going to see it, but if we want to look for evidence and clues that it could happen, we start looking at momentum oscillators and signals, and this is what it looks like on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin kind of in the middle, if we're comparing where Bitcoin is, kind of right here, right? In this first cooling down phase, going back to the current chart, you can just see it, this first cooling down phase, and right now trying to make a move to the upside. I want to interject something right now. This chart, I think, is incredibly important to everything I'm discussing in this video. This is US dollar currency index. Bitcoin, it was a little weird yesterday moving up with US dollar currency index. Usually when the DXY is moving up, Bitcoin's moving down, but we saw a little bit of, kind of going together in that regard, which was a little weird. But right now, I think what this chart does at this lower high resistance in green, this is US dollar currency index, will have a very big impact on whether or not Bitcoin continues to the upside. But this is what we're looking at on the momentum oscillators. So just so much awesome momentum happening for Bitcoin right now. The 50-day crossing above that 200. This 20-day, you can see Bitcoin falling below and just kind of reclaiming it. This is a very big deal on the macro as we talk about that pivot from bear to bull. And then if we really start dissecting the 6-hour chart, this is kind of that zoomed in look at Bitcoin, which I think many of us are kind of looking at. This is where we start talking about those shorter term consolidations, the real volatility of it all. And this is for me so that I can contain my own emotions when I'm looking at charts and looking at these runs and really get a better grasp and a more realistic outlook of Bitcoin. This is what I look at. And it's the 6-hour chart. So I have this question, upward consolidation. And the reason I ask that is because the question will be, in these moments where Bitcoin makes a move to the upside, like we've been seeing, are we going to have these moments of upward consolidation, these higher highs and higher lows? So, and you can see it time and time again here, higher highs and higher lows, and it's a consolidation phase. It's a cooling off phase. It's not Bitcoin drastically doing anything crazy. It's not Bitcoin just plummeting to the downside or just insanely going crazy to upside. It's just kind of just higher highs, higher lows, right? Upward consolidation. And while that's happening, there's just this reset on the momentum on the zoomed in. This is a 6-hour. So this is what the RSI reset looks like while Bitcoin is actually putting in these higher highs and higher lows. And so the reason I bring that up and I question that and I want to evaluate and monitor that is because when we go into the move of the last bull markets, right? Or I shouldn't say the last bull market, but when we're exiting the bear and probably in the bull market, we can dissect very similar data. In bullish environments, Bitcoin does this. Higher highs, higher lows, upward consolidation, not always just, big moves. And you can zoom in on the 6-hour and you can see this at the top of the chart. Not always like huge moves, but just look, higher highs, higher lows, and just zoomed out, you see that consolidation, upward consolidation. All the while, what's happening? RSI is being reset time and time again on the 6-hour for continuation to the upside. This is a bullish look at the Bitcoin charts when we're in this bullish trend. And oftentimes that bullish trend is illustrated on a daily where you see Bitcoin finally back above all the moving averages, as opposed to in a bear market below them and resistance below. We start shifting above those things. And then on the 6 hour, this is the picture we look for, just these resets on the charts. So if you look at Bitcoin right now, you can see most previously upward consolidation, reset on the 6 hour momentum, and then blast off. Now we're kind of in overbought again. So the question I asked myself, can we get just a nice, cool upward consolidation? And we can come down a little bit, but are there going to be just higher highs, higher lows, a little bit of upward consolidation on the price chart while Bitcoin on the momentum just cools down for a second, comes out of overbought, and then we get another explosive move to the upside? The reason why that question is important, I would say, is because when we start going to things like the weekly chart, can Bitcoin end the week? And can these shorter term moves to the upside continue? Can it end the week closed above these moving averages? Would be a very big deal. Something we'll watch for. The monthly chart. Can Bitcoin, 12 days, 7 hours, close above the 50-month moving average? That will be a big deal. These are all the things I'm watching, everybody, as we wait, as we anticipate to see the next move for Bitcoin. And it is definitely exciting to track all of these moves, because it is, in my opinion, it's that huge cycle reset happening right now, and we're getting ready. I don't think we're in the bull market. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but we're in that great pivot point. So expect volatility, or at least anticipate. Let me know your comments and thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.